Let's open this one. I'm really excited. So let's take a look. This was bought on eBay from the UK. Arrived recently. Super excited about this one because let me open it up and show you. All right, here we go. Football Special 79 from Ava Americana. This was released in the United Kingdom, Great Britain in the late 70s, 1979 obviously. Had the name Ava Americana. As far as I know, it was not available in the United States, but this was focused on the British First Division, which is what the Premier League was before it became the Premier League. It was the top flight of English football, and also features some of the second division teams too, as well as the national team. So let's take a quick look through here. This is of sentimental value really to me. This is my first ever soccer sticker album. It's not my original one. I would have lost that probably when I was like 9 or 10 years old. I did not complete it at the time, but recently went ahead and ordered this through eBay, won an auction, and got it sent to me from the UK, and it's complete. So here we go. This is introduction. Got Malcolm McDonald from Arsenal, as well as some facts and figures. Did you know? Some of the records, and each of these is different stickers. So the quality of this album and the stickers aren't the greatest by any means. It is pretty old, like what, over 40 years old. But gives you an idea of what it looked like at the time. Pat Jennings, David O'Leary, Liam Brady, Malcolm McDonald, Aston Villa, who would go on in a few years from here to win the European Cup. Some Andy Gray, John Gregory, Dennis Mortimer, Brian Little. Birmingham City, at the time not a very good team, but Trevor Francis, one player who would go on to sign for Nottingham Forest for a record £1 million at the time. The first ever £1 million player in the United Kingdom. The team itself was not a strong team, but look at those kits, classic Adidas kits. Bolton Wanderers, Sam Allardyce, former player, and of course later manager, Frank Worthington. Bristol City, hard to imagine, but yes, they were in the top flight of English football. Norman Hunter, previously Leeds United. Chelsea, who were not a strong team at the time, but you had Ray Wilkins, Peter Bonetti, the goalkeeper, Chopper Harris. Coventry City, when they were in the top flight, soon, years later, to go down the tables. Of course, famous chairman Jimmy Hill. Derby County in the 70s won the league championship under Brian Clough, but this team with Charlie George, Jerry Daly. Everton, not a strong team at the time, but did have Bob Latchford, Martin Dobson. Ipswich Town, which was under Bobby Robson, a really successful team in the late 70s. They won the league in the late 70s, early 80s. But Russell Osman, John Walk, Kevin Beattie, George Burley, Alan Hunter. Leeds United, Frank Gray, Eddie Gray, Alan Clark. Liverpool, who were the powerhouse at the time, won the European Cup a few times in the late 70s, early 80s, and league titles. Ray Clements, Emlyn Hughes, Phil Neal, Alan Hansen, Graham Souness, Ray Kennedy, just a Dalglish. Manchester City, Colin Bell, Mike Shannon. Manchester United with Joe Jordan, Steve Coppell. Middlesbrough, Stan Cummins was probably their star player at the time. Norwich City, Kevin Bond, Martin Peters, a classic Norwich City kit there. Nottingham Forest, who would go on to not only, well, actually win the European Cup, right, and the actual First Division title under Brian Clough. Classic team. QPR with some stars: Jerry Francis, Stan Bowles, John Hollins, Didn't really win a lot in terms of silverware at the time. Southampton, this is before Kevin Keegan joined the team with Alan Ball playing for them. Tottenham Hotspur before Ozzy Ardiles and Ricky Villa joined the team, but you had Glenn Hoddle, Steve Perryman, Colin Lee. West Brom with Cyril Regis, Laurie Cunningham, the two-star players. Wolverhampton Wanderers, Steve Daly, Kenny Hibbett, Willie Carr. And then the second division teams. So you had a map of the United Kingdom and showing you where these teams were located. You can see Fulham with a pretty small stadium, Craven Cottage at the time. Crystal Palace, Burnley, Brighton, West Ham United, hard to believe in them in the second division. And then the international scene, so some of the countries around the world. This is like 1 year after the 1978 World Cup. And then you had the national teams, so the home championships, where you had every year you had England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland playing in a group tournament to see who would go on to win the home championship. And there you go, Ava Americana football special 79. A little bit of history, a little bit of nostalgia, but thank you for joining me on this journey.